January 5th, 2004. I have to write this journal at least for my own sanity and a fail-safe if all goes wrong. Let me tell you a story, one that has been told many times, but not in this light, and will leave you questioning everything about who we share this planet with, not only in the very ancient past, but now in current times. The modern world as we know it today. It was a winter afternoon, just another day of routine digging in the shadow of the Great Pyramid. I, Edward Carter, a relatively unknown archaeologist, had spent years chasing dead-end theories and fragments of ancient Egyptian history. The mainstream called me a dreamer, a conspiracy theorist. But I had my suspicions about the pyramids. They were not tombs. They were something more. That day, everything changed when my team unearthed the lost stone tablets. The tablets that would reveal a truth too dangerous to share with the world. February 12th, 2004. I can't believe the symbols. The hieroglyphs on the tablets were unlike any we had seen before, almost otherworldly. Not just depictions of gods or rituals, but intricate diagrams, mathematical sequences, and something far stranger. Maps of the cosmos, pathways leading to distant points in the universe. It took weeks of painstaking study, and even then, the meaning of the symbols eluded me. But one night, while I lay staring at the stars, it clicked. The pyramids were never meant to be tombs. They were gateways. April 18th, 2005. I should have kept my discovery to myself. When I shared my findings with the Egyptology community, I was met with blank stares, smirks, and, later, outright hostility. A few weeks later, I was called into a private meeting with government officials. They weren't from the Egyptian government either. They were men who spoke of national security, and though that they offered no specific affiliation, their presence chilled me. They told me that my research was dangerous and that the world was not ready for such revelations. I was restricted to my given roles only, basically told to stay in my lane, no deviations into wild speculations. If I continued down this path, I would have my pay reduced and then fired and discredited, maybe even jail time, if I did not comply with these requests. I refused to stop, and that was the beginning of my nightmare. So this is why I have kept a secret second journal and must not get caught, keeping my entries limited and vague, as this is too important to be suppressed. July 27, 2007. Over the years, work has been slow and have not made an entry in some time, as it was too dangerous to be caught writing in this journal. But finally a update, I pieced together the puzzle. The pyramids, specifically the Great Pyramid of Giza, are nothing less than galactic. Fax machines, devices that operate on subspace frequencies, allowing instantaneous travel to distant points in the universe. They manipulate space-time itself, creating shortcuts like tunnels through a fabric that shouldn't be possible. No need for cumbersome starships when you could step into a chamber and emerge light years away. I found references to this in the tablets. The heart of Aru, it called the system. A galactic network built by an ancient, advanced race of beings. But here's where it gets terrifying. That race, the architects of this subspace network, didn't leave. They're still here, among us. I will report in when I can, but at the moment, things aren't looking good. December 3rd, 2010. I've learned more about the alien presence and had to remain off-grid while I gathered enough data to make this stick. They're shapeshifters, perfect infiltrators, indistinguishable from humans. They control governments, corporations, and global institutions. Anyone who gets too close to exposing them meets a tragic accident or disappears. Those who try to speak out are silenced. I've lost 2 colleagues who were sympathetic to my cause, both found dead under suspicious circumstances. I'm being watched too, I know it. I've caught glimpses of strangers at the edge of my vision, unfamiliar faces in familiar places. They blend into the crowd, but there's always something slightly off about them. I live in constant fear now, unsure of who I can trust. June 15, 2015. I had to go underground to survive the purge. Time seems to fly by now, maybe from constantly being on the run. I have learned more about the tablets, which tell of a time when the pyramids were fully active. In ancient times, high priests, those who knew the secrets, used these structures not just to communicate with their distant counterparts, but to travel. The network once spanned multiple planets, Earth was merely one node in a vast cosmic system. The pharaohs knew, or at least some did, they were never worshiping gods. They were trying to become them, using the pyramids to transcend space-time and gain dominion over other worlds. But something happened. The system was shut down, most likely to prevent some great cataclysm. The tablets suggest a fall of the gateways, but details are sparse. Why? What did they fear? I suspect the answer lies not in the pyramids, but in the stars they were connected to. October 21st, 2017. It's been almost 20 years since I first discovered the tablets, and I'm no closer to revealing the truth. Every time I try, I hit a dead end. My notes have been stolen more than once. I've been hacked, followed, threatened. No publisher will touch my story. Some of them, I suspect, are not even human, some kind of shapeshifters. Very hard to detect. I've made copies, of course. Dozens of copies. I've hidden them in places no one will think to look. But time is running out. The shapeshifters grow more bold. They're tightening their grip on this world. And yet people continue to live in blissful ignorance, believing the pyramids are nothing more than relics of a distant past, unaware of their plans to fully restore them, to allow more of their kind to live on Earth. February 8th, 2021. I've found a way. There's a chance to expose the truth, though it will come at a great cost. I've been working with an underground network of hackers, people who still believe in freedom of information. We've set up a system, a dead man's switch. If anything happens to me, my findings will be leaked across every major platform, every scientific journal, every government office. But if I succeed, if the truth comes out, it will shake the world. It will expose the greatest secret of our civilization, that we are not alone, and that the pyramids are the key to traversing the universe itself. The aliens have been here since the dawn of time, and they never left. They live among us, controlling the flow of knowledge, suppressing any threat to their dominance. They know I'm close. I can feel them closing in. I hear whispers in the night, like fleeting ghosts testing me, spying on me, flickers of shadows in the corner of my vision. April 19th, 2024. This may be my last entry. I don't know how much longer I can evade them. But if you're reading this, it means I've succeeded, at least in part. The truth is out there now, and it's up to you, whoever you are, to continue the fight. The pyramids are more than stone and sand. They are keys to the stars, part of a galactic network that stretches beyond the wildest dreams of humanity. But be warned, the ones who built it, they're still watching. They will stop at nothing to ensure the secret remains buried. The aliens walk among us, hidden in plain sight, and they will do whatever it takes to preserve their power. You've been warned. The Forbidden Journal of Edward Carter. The alien hunt begins. The moment I pressed that final button, I knew there was no going back. It was done. The files had been sent. The information was everywhere. News outlets, scientific journals, underground forums. My 20-year battle against secrecy was out in the open. And yet there was no immediate uproar, no global panic. That's when I realized the shapeshifters had anticipated this. They were already moving, working silently behind the scenes to suppress the information, to discredit me. It would start with the usual: claims of forgery, wild conspiracy theories, fabricated histories. They would mock the data, drown the truth in misinformation. But something else happened that I hadn't foreseen. My revelation didn't just get the attention of my enemies. It woke others, beings I had only suspected existed. Not all aliens here on Earth were part of the great cover-up. Some of them, it seems, had been waiting for this moment. May 10th, 2024. The first contact came through an encrypted email, but this was no ordinary communication. It wasn't even written in human language. It was a series of pulsating symbols, lines and angles that my mind somehow understood, as if the knowledge had always been buried inside me, waiting to be activated. The message was simple: you are not alone. We want the truth too. They call themselves the Shakir, aliens from a distant system who have lived among us for centuries. They have watched as the shapeshifters, whom they refer to as the Deltrons, manipulated and controlled human history. The Shekir do not share the Deltron's thirst for dominance. They believe in coexistence and enlightenment, and for too long they have operated in the shadows, protecting what little they could while remaining out of sight. But now, with the truth exposed, they had no choice but to act. May 14th, 2024. I met one of them today. His name, at least the name he gave me, is Caden. He appeared at my safe house, blending in with the crowd like any ordinary man. But I could feel something different about him. His eyes, though human in appearance, held a depth that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "You've started something," he told me, "something that can't be undone. But you've also put yourself at great risk." I already knew that. Every night I felt the eyes of the Deltrons on me, always watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. Caden explained that the Deltrons had infiltrated every level of human society, government, corporations, even the media. They were already spinning my revelation as a hoax, burying the truth under layers of ridicule. "They will come for you soon," Caden warned, "but we will help you. We believe it's time for humanity to know." May 20th, 2024. The Deltrons made their first move tonight. I barely escaped. I was staying in a small apartment, keeping a low profile, when I heard a knock at the door. It was an old friend, someone I trusted. Or so I thought. The moment I opened the door, I saw the flicker in his eyes, a subtle ripple in his skin that told me this wasn't my friend at all. It was one of them, a Deltron in disguise. They were done with threats. Now they were hunting. I grabbed my bag, already packed for emergencies, and fled through the back alley. I could hear them behind me, their footsteps unnaturally fast, their movements too fluid to be human. If it hadn't been for Caden and his team, I wouldn't have made it out alive. The Shekir had been watching me. They intercepted the Deltrons, creating a distraction that allowed me to slip away. But now there was no doubt I was being actively hunted. June 1st, 2024. I've gone underground. The Shekir have hidden me in a safe location, far from the eyes of both humans and Deltrons. They've warned me that the Deltrons are escalating. They've started assassinating key figures in the media and academic world who were beginning to take my findings seriously. They're covering their tracks faster than we can expose them. But the Shekir are not powerless. They've been planning for this day for centuries. They have their own networks, hidden deep within human society. Some of them are even posing as prominent figures. Scientists, journalists, people in positions of influence. They've been quietly nudging humanity toward the truth for decades. "Now we need to do more than nudge," Caden said. "We need to push." The plan is bold, almost reckless, but it's the only chance we have. The Shekir have built a communications network, a way to bypass the Deltron's control over global media. They want me to be the voice of the truth, to go live across the world with undeniable proof, images, artifacts, and the full translation of the stone tablets. They've already gathered prominent human allies, whistleblowers from the scientific community who are ready to come forward. But we have to act fast. The Deltrons are closing in. They know what we're planning, and they've already begun to disrupt our network. 2 Shekir agents have gone missing in the past week. If we wait too long, the window of opportunity will close. June 20th, 2024. They attacked. I was staying in an old abandoned warehouse, one of the last safe houses the Shekir had, and they found us. I don't know how many Deltrons there were, but they came in waves, relentless and vicious. Their shape-shifting abilities made it impossible to tell friend from foe. They could blend into shadows, mimic voices, even make themselves invisible for short bursts. We fought back, but the Shekir were outnumbered. In the chaos, I was separated from Caden and his team. I ran through the maze of the warehouse, every step echoing in the cold, empty corridors. I knew if they caught me, it would be the end. But then something unexpected happened. As I was cornered, ready to make my last stand, another figure emerged from the shadows. Not a Shekir or Deltron, but a human. Or at least that's what I thought at first. His eyes gleamed with an unsettling light, and when he spoke, his voice was calm, almost sympathetic. "We're not all Deltrons, Edward," he said. "Some of us believe in the truth too. We've been watching you." I didn't know who or what he was, but in that moment, He bought me the time I needed to escape. I need to keep recording these events as long as possible. It's the only way I can keep track. So much has happened, so much more I need to tell. At least I have this journal for now, my only vestige of my inner thoughts, a record of this discovery, too profound just to be a fever dream. The broadcast is ready. In 2 days, I'll go live. The Shakir have secured the frequencies, bypassing the Deltron's control over global media. This will reach every screen, every radio, every device. The truth, once released, can't be contained. But I can feel them closing in. The Deltrons are desperate now. I've received threats, mysterious phone calls, warnings from strangers I've never met. They want me silenced before I can expose them fully. I don't know what will happen after the broadcast. Maybe I'll be killed, maybe worse. But the truth will be out there. And that's all that matters. July 7, 2024. Final entry, for real this time. This is it. The broadcast begins in 1 hour. Caden and the Shekir have done everything they can to protect me, but I know the Deltrons will be watching, waiting for their moment. If you're reading this and I don't make it through the night, remember this. The pyramids are not monuments to the dead. They are keys to the stars. The Deltrons have kept this secret for millennia, shaping human history to suit their agenda. But they are not invincible. They can be exposed, and that alone is more powerful than any technology or big space guns. The truth is out there now. It's up to you to carry the torch. Your fellow truth seeker, Edward Carter.